This is our rationale and why we decided to make a podcast. So we decided to create the podcast. Okay.
Okay, wait.
This is our rationale of why we decided to do the podcast. So we chose this medium because podcasts are conversational and accessible, and it allowed us to explore themes of the story in a dynamic and easier way through conversation. Our entire goal was to highlight how the text powerfully portrays mental health, gender roles, and the struggle of isolation leading to self-destruction, specifically within the context of 19th century America, and how these themes still resonate today. We wanted to engage with them in a format that encourages discussion.
Yeah, and in the opening of our episode, we introduced ourselves and we gave a quick overview of the plot, establishing that the story is a series of these journal entries by this woman who's suffering with what we know is postpartum depression. And from there, we organized the episode into 3 main discussion points of gender roles, isolation, and mental health. And this structure helped allowed us explore the story through multiple angles while keeping it easy for the audience to follow.
In the gender roles section, we focused on why the narrator is infantilized and dismissed by her husband, John, who's also her doctor. And we point out how he refers to her. And then we point out how he is condescending towards her and how men treated women like this. Just socially, it was socially normal for women to be treated like this during this certain time period. And then
Yeah.
So we just
Wait, hold on. Let me. Did you finish with the gender roles or no?
So we connected this to the broader patriarchal norms of the late 1800s, and we just highlight how the story critiques how women's voices were silenced back then. And then, since we were only given the narrator's inner thoughts and we weren't allowed to have the perspective of others, we just The author centers the reader. The author centers the audience in the woman's experience, and it makes her isolation even more profound.
Yeah, and that leads us to our next section was isolation, and we analyzed how the narrator was physically confined to a room, and it was psychologically distancing her from meaningful connection. And this obsession she had with the wallpaper became a metaphor for her mental unraveling, and the wallpaper with its chaotic and prison-like patterns became a symbol of her own entrapment and mental deterioration and madness.
The last section we talked about mental health, and we talked about how the outdated rest cure in the story reflects harmful treatment practices of that time. The narrator is denied creative outlets like writing or socializing, which worsens her condition. And then we emphasize how the story draws attention to the dangers of actually ignoring or misdiagnosing mental health, especially in women. Her descent into madness is portrayed as a consequence of being denied agency and understanding.
Yeah, so through this podcast, we really wanted to bring the yellow wallpaper to life by using our tone, pacing, and structure. I'm not gonna say that. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna say this part. And so the episode basically ended with a reminder of the story's message about listening to others, especially those silenced by these patriarchal systems that have been set up. We used modern examples to connect the audience to the story and how to express like how it still remains relevant today. And overall, the podcast really helped us share our interpretation of the story in an accessible and compelling way. Thanks.
Bye.